Already on. Hi guys, how are y'all doing?
You can go up one.
my table is too low.
Hey.
Hey, so good morning, happy Sunday. How's everybody doing? All right, we are about to get started. They're lifting the table up. They're lifting the table up. This is hilarious. All right, guys, welcome to Sunday's discussion. We are actually going to shift things. We're actually been doing that for quite some time, and I know there's a lot of background noise. You get it? There we go. Much better. Maddie got it. All right, that's much better. It was too low. Sorry about that. All right, guys. So Stella's planning to lead the discussion this morning. So yes, we've been changing the format of what we're doing, and we're talking about shifting to maybe Wednesday evenings, which I think would be easier for a lot of us, and then Sundays we'll have like off. How do y'all feel about that? Does everybody feel okay with that? Wednesday evenings we'll come and meet together, and we'll do our live and do the whole thing. But we haven't nailed that down. We're planning on starting that in July though, so we've got to nail that down. Because that's a good idea. We'll do a poll. And so we are shifting from sermons to discussions. And that way anybody can lead. Whit led 2 weeks ago. And that was really awesome. Thank you so much for that, Whit. And I'm sure you're going to be hearing from them a lot more. They did so good, so you're going to be hearing from Whit a lot more. And let's see what else. Don't forget your Sunday selfies. Take your Sunday selfie. Hashtag JGCC. Hashtag Sunday selfie. Hashtag. Also, if you want to give and support this this work, you can do so on Venmo. We have a Venmo. Whit's going to post that now, and we also have a website, www.joshuageneration.rocks, and we have a lot of people here, and I hope that everybody will join in the discussion. This is not a me talking and you sitting and listening, because that's not what a circle is about. A circle is when we step into this circle, there's no titles, there's no hierarchy, everyone is equal, we are all the same, and we all are here to hear you and listen and learn from one another, and we are holding space for each person in this circle. Now, let's set our intentions and say a prayer. All right, so Spirit, we come to you and we step into this circle. We step into this circle with grace, love, and mercy, and we ask that you bring your spirit of love and unity and wisdom and guidance into this circle and meet us in this place. In all of your names we pray. Amen. All right. So here we go. I am. Y'all hear me talk about I am a lot. I have it tattooed on my hands. It is, y'all know the story. Most of us know the story about Moses. And when Moses was in the desert, the burning bush was burning, right? And he walked over to see what was going on, and God was in the bush speaking to him. This is a huge metaphor. I'm not going to get into all of that because it is quite the, it's very profound when you look at it in that context. But when Moses said, who do I say sent me? God said, I am who I am. So I am is the name of God. But it's also my name, right? And Yahweh, which is often translated as I am, or he who is. Yahweh is another name of God in the Torah. And it's also translated to be. So when you look at it this way, it seems to suggest active presence. I am. Active presence. And that is a powerful thing when you think about active presence. Now I want to read from the Gospel of Thomas. And in the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus says, I am the light which shines upon them all. I am the all. Split the timber and there I am. Lift a stone Take out the rocks, y'all. Lift a stone and you will discover me there. And those are Jesus's words. Now I want to read what Krishna says. Krishna says, I'm the origin of all things. All things came from me, whether moving or unmoving. All things exist in me. And I want to read from the Gospel of Eve. I am you and you are me. I say this all the time. I am you and you are me when I'm speaking to spirit. And that is how I have started tearing down that duality that separates me from spirit, that religion has done. And, you know, the teachings that most of us have sat through that separate us from God or spirit because we're not good enough. We haven't prayed enough. We're sinners. We're this, we're that. We can't be close to God because we haven't repented. We haven't said the right prayer. We don't go to the right church. We don't follow the right denomination. We don't blah, blah, blah. We don't read the right translation of the Bible. I mean, there's so many things that try to separate us. And so understanding that I am you and you are me brings us into active presence with spirit. Okay. And it also says, where you are, there also I am. Where you are, there also I am. And that's what I want to talk about today. Where are you? Okay. And that's what I want to discuss today. And y'all are not just going to be sitting here not saying stuff, okay? Because y'all are going to have to discuss this with me. Where are you? Where's your consciousness? And that's what I want to talk about. Where are you? Where is your consciousness? And Jesus says in Matthew 3, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. We all know what repent means because you know, Holly over there brought this great discussion about repent. And repent means it's metaneo. Is that correct? Metaneo. We're probably, mispronouncing it. But it means to change your mind. It doesn't mean fall on your knees and beg for forgiveness because you're a horrible sinner. And it doesn't mean saying, it means change your mind. That's what repent means. When you go into the context of the word, it means change your mind. It was lost in translation and a lot of things happened to the word and it became completely different. The context changed through translation. So when you go back to the original meaning of the word, it means change your mind. Change your mind, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And at hand, I looked that up this morning because I kind of woke up with it in the middle of the night. I couldn't go back to sleep. At hand means to bring near or to join two things together. That's so interesting. At hand means to bring near or to join, hey y'all, or to bring two things together. All right. Now, hi y'all. Hey. We have some here, Stella. Come. Do we have another chair?
Here, there's some right here. There's two right here. Okay.
Oh wait, there's a chair here.
Great.
There's another chair.
I love an entrance.
Okay. So we're talking about where's your consciousness and active presence. And so I looked at this verse in the Bible that says repent. This is what Jesus said. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And repent means to change your mind. And at hand means to join two things together. And so we were just talking about duality and how religion has separated us from God. Religion has separated us from spirit because we're not good enough. We're not, we're not whatever enough. We're sinners. We're all these things. So we're separated from God. And it's created this idea of duality. And when you live with the idea of duality, it's hard to live in the kingdom of heaven, and it's hard to live and operate in the spirit. It's hard to understand who you really are and become who you really are, right? So, Stella. Okay. Now. All right. So, Who was it that said we are spiritual beings having a human experience? Does anybody know that? Was it Wayne Dyer that said that? Or was it somebody before him?
It was either Wayne Dyer or the...
Wayne Dyer said...
Or the untethered soul.
So many people said it. A lot of people have said that. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And I totally agree with that. But we're also spiritual beings. Okay? And we can bring heaven into our human experience. Okay? Simply by being I am. And when I say that, just simply by being I am, I'm talking about being actively present. Being actively present. Changing our minds and bringing heaven to our human. Okay? Many of us have been shamed and heaven is taken away from us because we've been told that we are, you can fill in the blank, by religion, by different ideologies and different doctrines and different dogmas. And we are, heaven, and by that I mean like the experience of spirit, the experience of that love, the experience, that supernatural, beautiful experience, because things have been pounded into our minds that we are separated from that. And we can't have that because of whatever reason. You can fill in the blank. But where we set our mind is where we live. We have this crazy playlist that I came across one day that I play in the shop. And it has the strangest way of playing the right song at the right time. And when I say it's the strangest, it's almost like Spirit steps in and says, okay, let me play this song for this person so they can hear this song and they can understand that I'm with, it's really amazing when it happens. And, there's this one song that, and it's Ram Dass, and he says, and he's talking through the song and he says, our karma is our mind. And our karma is our mind. And what a profound statement. And you have to think about that for a little while. Our karma, when you look at it, it's like, okay, our karma is our mind. It's like we create our karma with our thoughts. We create our situation with the way we're thinking. And if we are stuck in I'm not good enough, or I'm not, whatever, we are totally not living in that present moment and enjoying life and having that heaven experience in every moment, because we're stuck in something else. We're stuck in the past. We're stuck in something that someone has said to us, or something that someone has done to us, or something that we have done, and we're guilty. We're holding on to shame or guilt or all these things. Or we are stuck in the future and the fear of the future and the worry that tomorrow has, and the worry and the fear. And so we're totally not I am. We are I was, or I'm not, and so we're stuck in this place that's not actively present. And so changing our mind changes our karma. Okay. I want to read from this right here. This is really interesting. Let me put my glasses on because I can't see anything. I was reading this morning. This is, I read from this a lot. This is Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, and Lao Tzu, the parallel sayings, and it's really good. You can see how they're the same. But I want to read this about I am. It says, for the ancient Brahmins, as well as for modern Hindus, the sacred syllable Om, we know about Om, all right, represents the primal sound of creation. It is considered to be the hum of the universe. Is it possible that there is a linguistic connection between the sacred Hindu syllable Om and the Semitic name for God? Even the English I am sounds much like the Sanskrit Om. Isn't that interesting? And what do people do? The Tao says, stay to the center. Okay, the center. Now, I love, and we're talking about not being stuck in the past, not being stuck in the future, but being in the present moment. Stick to the center, correct? And that's what the Tao talks about. And as I read this morning, and I'm thinking about Om, I know a lot of us meditate, and we use that Om. We say it. It's a mantra. It is it centers us. It brings us into the center, right? So that is the place where the I am is, in the center, in the moment. And if we choose to live in our center, we are choosing to live in the divinity of the moment. And our energies find their balance. Okay? And the experience of being present in each moment will become our natural state. It's not natural for us to be in the moment. Does anybody? We are trying so hard to.
I feel very natural in the moment.
You are one of the most natural people. I know. I was telling Susan that last night. I said, Kevin is alive. Like Kevin, she is alive, and she is in every moment, and she is just living in every moment. And that is so obvious with you. And it's a beautiful thing, and I admire it so much, but it's not, but most of us, we are stuck somewhere else, or we're trying to escape our moments. We're trying, I'm the worst. I'll go home at the end of the day and I'm like, oh, turn the TV on or something. I need to go somewhere else and watch people naked in the woods trying to survive, I've had to, and then there's the moments with, my wife and my child and, and all of my dogs and, I'm just like, leave me alone. I don't want to, So I lose moments. And when we lose moments, the moments are the sacred, they're divine.
I cherish every moment.
Yes, yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I think when we begin to live in that moment, we bring heaven and earth together. Right? And that's us. We're all human, all divine. And we create in heaven, right? We can have heaven in every single moment, even the difficult ones. Even the tough ones, and living in the moment and understanding that the moment is all we have. We don't understand. I think we take our moments for granted. We just assume that there's going to be another moment like this, or we assume that we're going to see the person that's standing in front of us in another moment, or we assume that, and that's not the case. And moments are precious, and moments are just their moments, and they're everything. And anyone that's lost someone understands that every moment is precious. And I think that if we can operate in that energy and make that moment, every moment, the most precious moment, we won't ever live with regrets or worry or fear or, and that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about moments. Does anybody have anything to toss in here, or anybody?
I just had one
Mm-hmm.
while you were speaking.
Yes, absolutely. Anybody else? Moments?
I had a moment the other day realizing that I won't hug my dad for Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of, it was sad, but I took the moment at that time and turned my car around and went to my mom's house and hugged my mom.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And that's kind of that's what I'm talking about is Father's Day. And a lot of people have lost their father, and they don't have those moments anymore. And not that I think that, I believe, and this is what I believe that our people are always with us, because we are spirits having a human experience. And, someone said the other day, when we die, we just unzip this human suit and we're just energy and spirit, and we're in everything, and I am in everything, and and that's what we're talking about. I am in everything. And so understanding that, the essence of the people that we love, and the essence of they're all around us, and we can experience them by living and understanding how divine everything and every moment is.
And I experienced him just by having the memory of every hug we've ever had in the past. So I was able to experience him, and then at the same time have that moment with my mom. My mom had no idea. She thought I was crazy. What are you doing?
I'm coming to hug you. Yeah, I'm coming to hug you.
I just came in. I'm gonna hug you, and she said, "Well, I'm all sweaty."
Oh my gosh.
I don't care. So,
that's funny.
No, but you can't take that for granted anymore, and even just the moments like yesterday, being able to talk to so many different people and learn from so many different experiences from all the people that were here yesterday. And I think that's why I like working here so much, because there's somebody different that comes in that's either never been in the shop or didn't know, and they walk in, and then I get to know about them just that little bit,
right?
And that gives me a moment of
right
knowing someone new.
We're all looking for an experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've said this many times. Does anybody mind being on camera? Because I just flipped the camera around. I didn't even ask anybody. I don't want to throw anybody on camera that doesn't want to be on camera. If you don't, just raise your hand and I'll make sure. Huh? You can edit it out. Okay. But it's still live. So, whoops. Sorry. Yeah, if you're just let us know. I've said this a lot, and we, as being a pastor for so many years, which I no longer call myself a pastor, but being a pastor for so many years, and building churches, and understanding that people are coming for a God experience. People want to experience God in church. That's what they want, especially the kind of church I came from. I came from a full gospel, high worship, all that. That's what I came from. And people wanted that, high church, and they wanted to experience God. And I remember when I felt betrayed by the church and all the things happened, and I remember looking at someone, and it was a moment that I was having, and it was like Spirit said to me, if you want to experience God, experience this person that's right here. Right. Because I am you and you are me, and that goes for one another. I experience God when I experience you, and I take the moment and I live in that moment, and I have that moment with you, and that is a God experience. And we have so many together that, and they're so important, and each moment is the best moment, and that's well, that's what I'm striving for. I'm not telling you I'm not there. Kevin's there. Kevin is so alive, and I love it, and lives in the moment, and I love that, and is so happy in every moment, and that's a beautiful thing. And I'm not saying that we have to be positive. I'm not that person. Positive thinking is everything, and you have to be positive all the time. And I'm not saying that we are not. We are human, like I said.
Toxic positivity.
Toxic positivity, yes. Yeah, it is not what I'm talking about, but I am talking about, and we experiencing even the grief, experiencing loss, experiencing anger, experiencing those things. That's part of our human experience. I'm not telling you to bypass those things. Those are all part of what, we're here to do. We came here for a human experience, and that's part of the human experience. But I do believe that we can go through those experiences and make them sacred and not something that we fear or something that we try to avoid or something that we, block out, because that causes, issues as well. I'm the only one talking, y'all.
I'll say something.
Thank you.
Like, makes it easier for us to release longing for the future.
Yes.
So, we've talked here one time, a long time ago, about schools of thought and religion about, is it fundamentalism that looks to the past and escapism that looks to heaven and future?
Yeah.
And we lose in those religions and all that dogma and stuff. We lose here and now, which is the holy sacred moment of being and belonging.
Yes.
And
The
God
I am.
said, where two or more gathered in my name, like present, there I am. So like I think that we ignite that holy connection laterally when we're all present together anyway.
And this is heaven.
Yeah, for sure.
The kingdom of heaven is now. It's right now. And that's what we're doing. And I love that you just said, when we're gathered together in my name. I mean, my name is I am.
Correct.
And
Many other names too.
many other names. Yes. And but when you're together with one other person, you're in the presence of God. Period.
Yeah.
Period. And even if that person is, one of the worst people you can imagine, it's still the presence of God. And that is hard for us to understand, because, even God is in the rocks, and so, I just think it's a powerful understanding that the moment is sacred, the moment is divine, and that is what, and so are we, and so are you, and understanding that and living that, and I think it's important. Anybody got anything?
I think it's important to have that spiritual experience rather than that religious experience.
Yes.
And I think we've all had religious experiences that we thought were spiritual, and perhaps that was more damaging than just not having an experience at all. If that makes sense. But
right.
The spirituality of someone goes so much deeper than the religious part of someone. And if you can get to know people and on all levels, then you can realize that they're spiritual people still.
We're all the same on the inside.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think one thing that religion did teach me, and I'm very thankful for it, is that God is bigger than religion. And allowing, because religion was a box that we all try to put God in. We all try to put God in these single boxes that are just not big enough for God is infinite. And but religion is, anyway, the moment. We're in the moment. And yeah, I want to talk about the moment. Anybody else? I was hoping we would say something.
I don't know. I feel like living in the moment's really hard, y'all.
It is.
And I'll go back to what I was talking about, but you have to release things to be in the moment, and
yes,
it's something I've been struggling with too. And I'm reading a book about silence and how being in silence will help you be in the moment, and then you can then easier or more easily find the moment in not silent places and stuff like that. So,
that's good.
And then I don't know. I feel like something Maddie and I have been doing lately is just being quiet and being connected in the moment, and doing that with other people just builds a relationship in a way that I don't even know how to describe. And in the book that I'm reading, they talk about how thousands of people will come to retreats and just sit and breathe together, and the power that they feel and the energy that they feel, and that's crazy. And to me, that equates to spirit and heaven and everything that we're talking about. So anyway, yes, love the moment.
Yes, that's great. I'm glad you brought. Yes, sitting in silence is a very good way to learn to live in the moment, because when we're sitting in silence, you have no idea how active your brain is until you try to sit in silence.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, the voice inside of your head, you're just like, what are you talking about? Where are you? You're over here in, Egypt building pyramids with the, you're just thinking about crazy, or you're thinking about the type of coffee that you want, or what. It's just, our mind is so busy, and that's how we miss the moment. And, we do a lot of work here with Bonnie, learning to get control of our minds. Bonnie teaches us how to, get control of our minds and sitting in those, and she, teaches us how to do that. So that's really a powerful thing. Were you about to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, at least pertaining to that a lot of times for me, especially, and I've heard from other people, where it can be really difficult to sit in silence around other people, especially because we're such social creatures that we're like, oh, I need to talk to this person. It's weird if I don't make a noise towards this person that's in the same room with me, but then I've also heard from a lot of people that when they find people that they can sit in silence
It's
with,
the best. Yes.
those are the people that they want to be around. And so to me, that tells me that that's something to aspire to, kind of like what Whit was saying.
Yes.
And then another thing that I was thinking about was that connection between the moments that we have and the experiences that we might have externally and stuff, and how whenever that matches my thinking in a positive way, like I'm kind of unsure about something, but I'm thinking that this might be a direction I need to go, but then I get some sign from the environment or different things that affirms that. And you get that confirmation, you're like, okay, great, this is a moment right here.
Yes.
A lot of times those are the best moments for me, is whenever you have that combination, and then so it makes a lot of sense to me with the karma aspect too, where these are combining and you're divining and manifesting things together.
I love that. Divining. I love that. Yeah, that's very good. And I like the, Susan and I can sit in silence, and it's not a problem. And my friends, I have friends that I can just sit and we're good. Or we can just talk all night or just not, and that's a powerful thing. And having those people that you don't, the people that you can be quiet around are the people you're the most comfortable with. And when you can sit, go ahead, yes. What if you can't be quiet around anyone? That's what we're learning how to do that. First, I think we have to learn how to be quiet with ourselves. And I think that's kind of what Whit was talking about, is getting in that moment and being quiet and being in silence and learning who you are and what's going on in here. And that's another reason we don't like silence, because a lot of stuff just starts rising up in silence, and we don't have that ability to talk. Yes.
I think it's also important to remember that there's not a magical answer
Yes.
for whatever's going on with us. And sometimes when we're experiencing, like I experience a lot of anxiety, especially about either behaviors I did that I think are embarrassing.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, everyone hates me now. That was horrifying. And then I worry instead, like then if I can get past anxiety, then I'm like, oh my God, they're never going to want to be my friend again. Or, like that sort of thing where it's like, well, I have now worried about the past. It's time to move on to the future. And I'll skip over the current moment. But, also, a lot of evidence-based therapies also, kind of involve accepting that we don't have to believe every thought that we have, and kind of acknowledging, okay, like this is a thought and it's going to come and go like a cloud. It might be here right now, but if I just give it some time and move on to something else, maybe focus on the present moment, this thought will pass, and I can think about it later if it's really that important. And that is my 2 cents as a therapist in training.
And I agree. I 100% agree with that, because, and that's one thing that we do. We are, we get stuck in moments. Stuck. Especially if we're and I'm the worst. Because shame, I'm sorry, I don't mean to point. No. Shame is used so powerfully. We'll just hold on to it. We'll hold on to it, and we'll just be so ashamed and so humiliated. And yes, everybody hates me, and I hate myself, and and we have this, process that we have to go through to release that, and letting go of shame is.
I think that is kind of the beauty of the silence, and like part of accepting like that mindful experience of being present is like acknowledging that the thoughts you have are not controlling you.
Right. They're passing by. And I often think of like a leaf in the river. I think about that. I think about a leaf. You're watching this leaf go by. It's going to be there for a moment, and then it's just going to be gone. I'm just going to watch it go by. I'm going to watch it, and I like that the thought's not controlling. It doesn't have to be controlling. And learning to do that.
Jumping at the bit. I would, tie it and then transition. Like what Moses is doing in that moment, right? When he's talking to the burning bush, like when I go to your people, who am I supposed to tell them who sent me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Moses, like in that time in his life, right? Like is not feeling like the badass hero to
Exactly.
go back to Egypt. Like, why is anybody going to listen? How am I going to prove that, like, I'm legit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And later, like, when he asks, is it Moses or Abraham who asks for the name of God on the mountain? And God refuses to tell that leader. And I think part of that moment, right, is about control, right? Because in Hebrew, when you know the name of something, you can control it, right? And I think we've all seen the power of naming,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Yes.
people name us, what we
Yes.
name ourselves, what we name other people, right? And what, like, in that moment, God is refusing is to be controlled, right? You don't get to use my name and call down blessings and cursings like I'm God, like you're
Mm-hmm.
not, right? In that moment, and when Moses is like, who am I going to say? Like,
Mm-hmm.
tell them, like, I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not something you can box in, and Moses wants to because that's what humans do. We
Mm-hmm.
want to box it in because then we can know what to do with it. How do I categorize you, right? Because we don't get to control it. And we give up that we need to control it because there's something wrong with us or the world that needs to be fixed, right? If we can be with it in silence, to be with this moment in the now, right? Like then we get to find, right, the peace of God that passes understanding,
Right.
right? And we give up control, we actually discover what we are in control of, right?
Right.
Ourselves and our experiences.
Right, absolutely. That's excellent. Very good. And also, you said something. It triggered a thought in me. It's like there's another song that plays on this playlist. It's crazy. And this man is talking, and he says that the nature and earth and us, we are a manifestation of God, and we are. And this is so interesting and he says something to the effect of. God trying not to be God. And that is what we're trying to do. We're God trying not. It's like God's, people who are always in charge, okay? Like people who are running businesses and powerful people, they want to find moments where they are not in charge and someone is in charge of them. You know what I mean? They want to be not in charge. They want to be, and so it's like, when we come into this earth, it's like God coming in to not be God. I want to be human and not be God because I'm God all the time and I just want to have this experience. And so when you look at it that way, it's like, okay, we are all God trying not to be God in a human experience. So we're having this little, and so the human part of us is saying, you're not God. And the God part of us is saying, yes, you are. And there's this little thing going in. So just understanding that even the moments of fear and anxiety, that's part of our experience. But it doesn't have to define us, and it doesn't have to control us. It's an interesting paradox, I guess, that we're stuck here in this earth. But anyway,
Right.
I just wanted to reiterate like what Ava said, and I think like Ava, I think your addition was extremely helpful. Like,
yes.
Because we need those tools to be able to navigate the
Yes.
thoughts in our head and stuff like that. And whenever we do try to be quiet and release and let go, like all those thoughts do bubble up and it's hard to deal with them. So anyway, I would love to hear more of what Ava has to say about like what she's learned in school. Well, if you're comfortable with that, just because I think that can help all of us.
Well, they're coming from somewhere.
Online.
But they're coming from somewhere, and understanding that these thoughts are bubbling up from somewhere, and it helps us to know ourselves, and it helps us to know what we need to process or face.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes our thoughts are coming from things that we're refusing to face.
Yeah.
And that's why the moments are important. and the thoughts and what we're experiencing is so important. Not just blocking it and saying, I don't want you. You know, we can do that. We can take those thoughts that make us feel bad and lock them in a closet, but they're still there. And one day that closet's going to get over full and the door's just going to bust open, and then you're just going to be overwhelmed all over again. And then you're triggered. And so, moments of silence and knowing who you are and where these thoughts are coming from are very important. All right, anybody got anything else?
Can I say one more thing?
Sure, absolutely.
I think it's also just good to remember not to be so hard on yourself if you are trying to like achieve that peace in silence or whatever. And like, also it's okay to not constantly be in silence. Like that's something I've been dealing with. Like it's impossible, y'all. Like sometimes I just want to sit and watch TV. You know?
Yes, and that's okay too. Yes, absolutely.
Refresh, you know.
Yes, exactly. We are spirits having a human. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that's what we're here to do. And if watching TV is the human experience that we need to have today, then that's the human experience. And yeah, all of our, it's okay to have human experiences. It's okay to embarrass yourself. Okay, it's okay.
Is it though?
It's okay, and it happens.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm just coming from a true and honest soul.
Yeah.
Honest place.
Yeah, we
Being with it is not fun.
Yeah.
Stay out of your head and live from your soul. Everybody, just stay out of your head.
And there's another song on that playlist that says "Losing Your Mind." What does it say? It says something about losing your mind.
And accept yourself.
In love, yeah. Losing our mind is key to, I don't know, finding something. I don't know. I'll have to look that song up. But
I mean, that's full circle, right? Like when you talk about karma and your mind, like there's this scene in Lucifer. It's a Netflix show.
Yeah.
My guilty pleasure.
Hurry up the next.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It sucks you in. But there's this moment where this guy, so Lucifer is actually as in the devil, and there's this moment where this guy is in this storyline. Hell is a loop that created from your experiences, and he's like I want to get out, and Lucifer's like, you never will, because you think this is what you deserve.
yes.
Right, like God didn't send you here, right? Like you sent yourself here, like, and you're in a loop of your own making, right? Torturing yourself, and when you decide that when you give up, that you deserve to be tortured, right?
There's a play about that too.
Yeah, that's your exit key to we're living in the world that we think we deserve to
Get
live
out
in.
of the loop.
Yeah.
I mean, the trick to getting
your own purgatory.
yeah. When you decide it's okay to be okay with whatever it is.
Yeah. It's like the contract.
Yeah, you are the lock and you are the key. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ava, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, definitely. I think that also is part of, if anyone else here, like myself, grew up in like an evangelical atmosphere where, the message is like that is the message point blank. It's like you must lock yourself in your own purgatory for the rest of your life. As particularly as a queer person or whatever, and you are now doomed, everyone has their cross to bear, whatever, you're doomed to suffer with this, and if you don't torture yourself for the rest of eternity, God will torture you by throwing you in hell forever or whatever. I don't know. It's like some fucked up
Yes, it is. Yes, it
doesn't
is.
even make sense. But also, I think important to what's her name? Jones. Okay, important to what Jones said, and I think also sort of almost a caveat to what Bibi was expressing earlier, that it's important to face our those deeper thoughts and process them, and that's how we move on from them. I think it's also important to recognize that we cannot solve our existential anxieties in this moment, and accepting and setting yourself free by saying, I see that I feel this way. I want to enjoy the present moment I'm in. I don't want to explore this anxiety right now. I will revisit it later, but right now I'm going to enjoy this, and maybe I won't even care about that thought later because, maybe it's not actually the most important thing for me to solve.
Right.
And that was my personal experience, so don't take that as.
But that's so helpful.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
That actually comes in what you just said. I almost did not show up yesterday because my anxiety was getting in the way. And I almost turned around 3 times on the way here
Wow.
yesterday, and I'm like, no, I really feel that Spirit feels that I'm supposed to be here because it's my birthday weekend. I wanted to go to New Orleans. Thank you, Storm. I wanted to go to the water park, or I wanted to do the spiritual thing here yesterday. And I was like, well, Spirit kind of canceled 2 of them right on out. So I really felt that I was supposed to be here, but it took everything I had to get here. And then it's funny that you're talking about I am, because look at my shirt today that I
It says I am enough. Yes, I noticed it when you walked in. Yes, I did.
And this actually has to do with women that were sexually abused as children. So, but still, you know, it kind of flows right on in.
Right.
But yeah, that anxiety, even right now, my head is exploding with anxiety. But I'm getting past it. Y'all are helping me.
Well, you
I'm
are.
appreciative of each one of you guys.
Well, we love you very much.
It is. It's very much about
I like what Ava was just talking about, and also Jones. Is that your Jones? About beliefs, because that's what create our moments. Really, is our beliefs, and that's one thing. That's why I love Dr. Bonnie Miller. She helps us to go in and change some of those deep-rooted beliefs that are wrong beliefs that create our moments, that create our realities, that even feed those anxieties, the fears, the worries, that keep us from moments, that stop us from having those moments, that are the storms in the moment, so we can't even see out of the window for the moment. It's just blinding us in that moment.
For those of you who like to name the thoughts that you're having, there are people who have already named things like this, right? Like whether it's like spiritual or like in my case, obviously I study therapies, so cognitive behavioral therapy, like an essential component is core beliefs, which are cognitive distortions, right? That are like the idea is that these are core beliefs that shape these automatic thoughts that we have. Like, you know, let's say a core belief is that I am bad. There's something wrong with me, right? So then the automatic thought in a situation, well, all right, now I'm just like showing my hand. This is what I think about myself. But I'm in therapy too, so.
Therapy's good.
So, and also part of, you know, this process is like identifying what the core belief is, and then trying to identify what the automatic thoughts are that we're having that are based on these core beliefs. So, you know, thinking like there's something wrong with me, right? And I like maybe say something that hurts a friend's feelings, then the automatic thought is, I'm a bad person, right? Because I already believe there's something wrong with me. And the reality is that, and then, oh, this friend's never gonna want to be my friend again, like, and then it just like all goes downhill from there. But that's not really the truth, right? Because like, it's not true that I am essentially wrong. And that is the process, but I feel like there is that balance to have between like exploring, like having like those internal boundaries of like, okay, I recognize that I'm having this thought that is related to this like problematic like cognitive distortion that I have about myself that comes from like many, many other things that are external. But right now, I'm going to choose to just acknowledge that that is an automatic thought, and instead, I am going to change the channel and focus on the present moment.
I like that. Bye, Kevin. Kevin's got to go to work.
So when I'm shaking my head no to you, I'm not saying no that you're wrong. I'm in my head.
Yeah.
I mean, you're absolutely right.
You can also disagree. That's
no. You're absolutely right. I have a bachelor's in psychology, but when I started studying, I was so terrified of the things that I was learning that I just put it down. Yeah. And I refused to pick it back up because I see a lot of me in the things that I'm studying and that I'm learning. And I'm like, okay, so how the hell can I help someone when I'm like this? But I'm saying no, or my mind is saying no, and my craziness is saying no to the part where you're saying pick it up, like acknowledge it, which you should, and pick it up later on. For me, that doesn't work, because when I pick it up later on, I'm going back like I'm just this whole ball of mess that's just running down. And so if I could, because it's layers of many things. It's layer of abuse from religion, abuse from the first woman I was with, the abuse from my mom that I still just recently, months ago, experienced, and I'm almost 39. It's losing my dad, no longer having that one person that's everything to me.
Well, that is a completely valid experience, and it's not the same for everyone. And like what I've expressed is my personal experience and the things that work for me.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing.
I'm trying to work on silence. I think it scares Brittany when I'm silent. Like a lot of times, it terrifies her. What's wrong? Are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah. Are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah. Because I think she really knows that I'm not okay. I'm just trying to battle and figure that stuff out. I guess that's why, like yesterday, I was fighting so hard against Miss Bunny. I have a love-hate relationship with Miss Bunny. I do.
I know. I'm scared to death of Bonnie.
Yesterday was my first day meeting her, but I don't like the whole drop control she had me doing, the whole releasing stuff and releasing that control. I don't like that. It is very.
It's very hard.
hard.
Yeah.
Even to the point to where I almost just stopped coming here. I told Brittany a few weeks ago, my anxiety, I can't handle here. I can't handle Sundays here because it's making me explore and feel stuff that I just want to. Some shit I just don't want to fix. I felt like I didn't want to fix, like with my mom. Like I just don't want to fix that. Like, lady, I want to be angry with you, and I have every right to.
Yes, you do.
Be angry
Yes, you
with
do.
you. Like, I want to be pissed off with you. I don't want to. I had a problem last week with Grace. I don't want to extend you grace. I'm your child. I don't like that whole thing that I picked her. I couldn't have possibly picked you and picked all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes conversations like this, even though they're really valuable, can like push us to feel that we're being asked to like explore things beyond our limits. And that's okay. Like saying a big idea, like we have to face the silence, we have to face like our fears or whatever. The truth is we don't. We can do it in our own time.
Yes.
That's like
And in your own way. I mean, it's not like we don't come. There's not a. I got the camera on you. I'm sorry. There's not a formula for everybody. I mean, this is like we all experience different things, and we all process them different ways, and we all have different solutions, different things.
And sometimes silence isn't a good thing.
Sometimes silence isn't a good thing. I agree.
If you don't hear from me a while, some shit's going on, and I'm just avoiding it. I don't want to. I just don't want, because I know you're gonna, not saying you, but I know whoever I'm avoiding is going to call me out.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
Like, what's up? Like, you two, asking you why you're being quiet. That's because she cares.
Yeah, I know. With her,
I wish I had that sometimes. I really do.
With her, it's different. It's very different, and she is literally the only reason why I'm trying to change. I feel like I've been through a lot.
But you deserve to change and be happy for yourself.
I know, and I'm working on that. I don't know.
We're work in progress.
I think you're perfect and in the perfect place at this moment. You are right where you're supposed to be, and I want to say that to you because take some of the pressure off of yourself because we are where we're supposed to be, and we are right in the right, and we are in our own process, on our own journey, and don't beat yourself up and say I've got to do and I've got to do. Yeah. Take your time. Take one. What is it? How many? How do you eat a whale? One bite at a time. It's just do it in your time.
Another reason why I want to change is because spiritually, I was trying to look for it, but I couldn't find it because I'm like, am I crazy? Did I make that up? I did. Where it's like seek the kingdom of Christ, and the kingdom of Christ is within us. It's a scripture that says that somewhere. I didn't make that up.
I almost quote, that was almost the discussion was today. Seek and ye shall find is basically what it says, yes.
We were not created for this.
Yeah.
We were not created for fear, for shame, to live in anxiety, to be placed in the box that Christians, so many Christians try to put us in. We all are Christ. We all
Yes.
are Him, and it is within us. Heaven is within us, and I don't want my heaven that's in me to be clouded and overshadowed by all of the hurt, the anger, because that's not why I was created.
Right.
We were absolutely created for good. So,
and created to have an abundant life and to have a wonderful, and that's like they were saying, you get stuck in a loop.
you do.
We get stuck in a loop, and that's what we have to change. We have to break the loop. We have to change the patterns. That's how it takes a minute. It takes a minute. It takes a whole lifetime to learn how to think like this. It's going to take a little while to learn how not to.
Yeah, and it all reminds you of circling a little bit back to the moments and avoiding things and that we don't want to necessarily do or we're scared to. Then a moment doesn't have to be this big aha moment.
Yes.
It's one tiny step. That's all it has to be. It doesn't even have to be a full step. It can be putting your pinky on something, and that's still moving in a direction, and that's still
Exactly.
a moment.
And Miss Bonnie, you mentioned to me, if you can't step forward, step to the side.
Yeah, there you go.
Step to the side and let the shit go on by.
That's a good. I like that. If you can't move forward, step to the side. Yeah, let it flow out your big toe. Well, it's interesting because oftentimes we're making progress just by being in situations like this, and we don't even realize it. And then one day we're like, that didn't trigger me as much as, I'm okay. And you realize that the change is happening, and without like, you don't even realize it. And then one day you're in a situation that would normally trigger you to a point of, a severe anxiety attack or running and hiding in your house. And you're like, I'm okay.
It's just hard for me to be around people that are exactly like me. Like, y'all are exactly like me. I don't feel any shame. I don't feel any guilt. I don't feel like I have to hide. I don't feel like I have to do anything other, like how my dad was so accepting of me. That's what I feel here. And it's scary being around people that these people don't know me. I need to do this. I
You don't. We love you.
I love y'all.
We love you exactly the way you are. We just love you, and that's it. You don't have to be any certain way or change anything to be loved by us. We love you, 100%.
It's scary.
It is.
Those expectations, and you're like, what do? Oh, I can be
Right.
me. What does that mean? Oh my God.
I don't want to disappoint, and that's
Right. Like,
and
who the hell is me? Like,
Right.
that was
so
me.
it is.
I am. That's who you are.
It's faceable.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like, for me, like, a fundamental conversation in my life is, am I, like getting it right or getting it real, right? And that's so
Oh, I
much
like
of,
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I think about, like, what gets us about anxiety is our reaction to our anxiety, right? Like, there's the fear, but what sends us into the loop is, like, oh, being afraid is bad. Oh, no, like, don't be mad at yourself, right? So there's this reaction to your reaction and this, like, thought about, like, however I'm being right now is wrong, right? Because I'm not dealing with it all at the same moment, or I'm I'm being weak if I do this, and being weak is bad,
Those
right?
expectations.
Because even with the Bible, I don't know who the hell or where the hell they got that from. Like, oh, you're not supposed to live in fear. Jesus don't want you to live in fear. Like, they are forcing you to not acknowledge your fear by using Jesus, by using Christ, when that is absolutely a lie. Do you not think he was afraid when he was about to be executed? I mean, so I don't know. He was very much afraid. And it says that.
And
It's
it does.
a whole big book of contradictions. So
Yeah.
But what does it look like in the moment to be okay with whatever is, right?
Yeah.
Like in meditation, right? Like the practice of being the observer, right? Is to just observe whatever's there in you with no judgment. Not it's good, not it's bad. Like, it just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And like to live that, right? Like, today I am angry at
Yes.
like my mom for what she did and did not do in my life. Like, and that is that. Right? Like today I'm gonna I'm gonna take down all my demons, right? And that is that. Tomorrow I'm gonna watch Netflix all day. And that is that.
Yeah. I battled enough for 1 week. I'm gonna chill out for a while.
Not even that, right? Because then you're justifying. Like I get to watch Netflix, right? Because I battled all week. But if I didn't battle all week, does that mean I don't deserve to like watch Netflix? Right? But even deserve is a judgment, right? Or not deserve. Like what does it look like to just be okay with whatever it is?
And that's basically what we're, the moments, the heaven, the kingdom of bringing two things together. And that's what it says the kingdom of heaven is at hand, bringing two things together. And you have to bring the human experience and the heaven experience together. And it's just, it's the right moment at the right time in the right place, even though it doesn't feel right or it doesn't feel good or it doesn't feel like, what we expect it's supposed to. We talked about expectations a few weeks ago and letting go of expectations and releasing expectations, because expectations are the things that cause us to disappoint.
And disconnect from the moment.
And disconnect from the moment. Yes. We miss the moment because we expect it to be a certain way. All right. So everybody feel like we've been in group therapy?
Yeah.
Great. Excellent. That was great. Thank everybody for sharing. That was really, really good. Thank everyone. It was really powerful. Anybody got anything else to say? Ava, you sure? We love you, and we always
worry about this later.
and we still want to be your friend. I think everything you said was very beautiful and very helpful. Very helpful. Yes.
I am not going to promise that because
Ava, you were very
that's
helpful.
Part of it is like accepting that I might worry about this later.
But
that's okay.
What's so cool is that even though you might be anxious about it, you still do it. And
Yes.
so you're facing it.
That's exactly
You're
right.
facing it. And as long as you continue to try to face those things, it's going to get better. It's going to get less and less and less each time you do that. But I applaud you for it didn't matter. You still said something.
Well, I don't ever feel anxious in the moment. It's just retrospective.
What did I say? Did you see their face? Yeah.
Right. You said it good.
All right.
Do you
Anybody?
want to share that the Hebrew for I am is Haya.
Yes.
Haya.
Yeah. It is. Haya. It is. Yes, it is. And it literally means becoming and finished. It is. It means becoming and finished. So it's everything, basically. Yeah. So we are all becoming and we are all finished, and so it's really cool. Yeah. Haya. That's exactly right. All right, guys. So that's it. Everybody good? Good. All right. All right, I love y'all, and I hope we will see you guys. I guess next Sunday's our last Sunday, so we'll start doing, I'm thinking Wednesday nights. I think that's going to be the best thing. Wednesdays at 6:00 here, so I think that's what we're going to do. So we can, do fun things on Sunday, all day. Okay? All right, because it is, Sunday. All right. Yes, it'd be awkward. All right, guys. Well, we love y'all. And if you have anything, any questions or you need anything, just send us a message. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. And we will see you soon. Bye, guys.